a milestone edition of one of the world's most challenging endurance races. The 24-hour race at the Nürburgring and its legendary Nordschleife, an integral part of motorsport history. TOYOTA Gazoo Racing Team Thailand have helped shape the race over the last 8 years. After 2 years behind closed doors, the fans are back at the circuit. Rarely before has the 24-hour race attracted such a huge crowd.
I'm happy that because this year I think everything should be back to normal already.
We just won the SP3 last 2 years, but because of the COVID situation, so not much people joined last 2 years. So I hope this year it has a lot of audience.
TOYOTA Gazoo Racing Team Thailand, reigning champions in the special 2-litre engine category, are once again among the favourites to win the race. A big challenge as the hunters have become the hunted. Their goal this year, the title defence, ideally in the form of a double triumph. Otto and his team keep coming up with new ideas for the two cars to achieve their mission. Optimising the Toyota Corolla Altis for the Nordschleife is an endless task.
We had the engine power upped, increased from the 119 car and 120 car both. But each have a different engineer, so it's a little bit different spice, yes. And also the suspension system, which is a whole new kit. We got it.
Thursday afternoon, it's time for the first of 3 qualifying sessions. Arto's team are motivated to the core to top their own best times from last year with the 2 Toyota Corolla Altis. The tyres will be the most challenging factor. The team had to swap tyre manufacturers shortly before the 24-hour race due to supply problems.
This is the first time we try to use the Falcon. We used the Michelin before.
The team experiment with tyre pressure and camber angles. The big questions of the first qualifying session: how are the drivers getting along with the new Falcon tyres? How can they get them to the right temperature window? Will they stand up to the challenges at the Nordschleife? Both Toyotas take to the 25.3-kilometre track. The drivers show they've settled well to the new slicks. No problems in the first checkup. Relief for everyone involved.
For the first Q1, the car is pretty good, much more than I think. The suspension, the tire is working quite well. Engine is running good. The new set of tire is working well, but I don't know how long it's gonna last. Have to find out.
Both cars have good grip, and the weather plays into their hands. Perfect conditions to achieve better and better lap times. But the worst case scenario occurs after 5 laps. Number 120, Chum, gets hit unnecessarily and through no fault of his own. The entire team are shocked.
In the turn 1, end of the stretch line, I'm trying to turn in my line, but the other Mercedes I think he is over braking point and I cannot control the car, hit my car.
The car has to be ready for the second qualifying a few hours later. The clock is ticking, a big challenge for the mechanics. It's up to them now. About 7 hours later, it's time for the second qualifying session. Number 120 has been knocked into shape as much as possible. Both Corolla Altis and their drivers turn in a perfect performance. All drivers complete the mandatory number of laps and qualify for the race early on.
Everybody do our job, and the engineer and the driver and the cheer team also, everything have one goal to do our best.
Shortly before the end of the second qualifying session, number 119 Toyota Corolla Altis shows its true colours, posting a lap time of 9:53.005 that would still stand after the third session.
Q2, at least we got the first position, and this is very good for us.
Now it's about unwinding and recharging the batteries after the exertions and the shocks of the first 2 sessions. Relaxation too is important ahead of an exhausting 24-hour race. Saturday morning, today's the day. The 50th edition of the 24-hour race at the Nürburgring will start at 1600. The last preparations for the dash through the Eiffel. Everything's ready for the mission of defending the title.
We're gonna start a 24-hour, one of the longest endurance, the toughest endurance in the world. I'm ready to go.
The primary focus is on maintaining the right strategy and keeping cool. And finally, we're racing. The 50th edition of the 24-hour race gets underway for the 9th time from TOYOTA Gazoo Racing Team Thailand's point of view. The drivers will contest 24 hours in the Green Hell, the world's most challenging permanent racetrack. The weather too plays into the team's hands at the beginning of the race. It's dry and the Falcon slicks get up to temperature. However, the first accidents occur early on. The race is frantic. Chum and Nat keeping their cool, lying in first and second place in their category. Both post outstanding lap times, opening up a gap between them and their rivals. The first few driver changes, Hong taking over from Chum, Otto replacing Nat.
The racing pace is quite good. The car behind us is quite far. I think we did well.
Otto, Hong too get off to a good start, maintaining P1 and P2. A number of accidents on track cause code 60 phases in some sections, with the gap shrinking.
In my stint, a lot of yellow, double yellow and code 60. Too much yellow and then cannot go at full speed.
Otto and Hong give way to Man and Naoki. Time for the first few tyre changes. The new slicks prove robust, reliable and fast. Man and Naoki managed to extend their gap in spite of many accidents and code 60 phases.
When I start from the first lap in my stint until I'm finished, every lap code 60 and yellow flag every lap. So I'm really boring about this.
It's dark at the Nürburgring. Chum and Ton are driving the two cars now. Things have gone according to plan so far, but then Chum reports a problem. Pit stop immediately. Something's wrong. Number 120 makes an unscheduled pit stop. A bump has damaged the car. The mechanics fix the problem in the minimum of time. Chum quickly rejoins the race, maintaining P2. The next unscheduled pit stop follows soon. Ton's number 119 heads to the pit box. The mechanics are in the thick of it again, showing why motorsport is a team sport and why it's called TOYOTA Gazoo Racing Team Thailand. The night is over. The last few hours of the race. So far, no driver has been able to pass the two Toyotas that have been in P1 and P2 for more than 16 hours.
We had some troubles also with the suspension system or the ride height and a little bit touching also, yes. But anyhow, we survived and we fixed all the cars and all the motors and now it's all good. So we're really good to go now and yeah, we feel really confident to win.
Slowly but surely, the weather is turning. Rain sets in. It's moderate, but not falling everywhere on the 25-kilometer track. A difficult decision for the team, a borderline case. The team opt for wet tyres, which need moisture to avoid overheating. But not all parts of the track are wet. Man still shows the Corolla Altis qualities in mixed conditions.
With the rain, it's easy to control. So I think I can control the car.
The race enters its closing stages. The drivers push themselves and their cars to the limit. Chum and Ton show strong nerves, staying focused until the end. Chum's number 120 is the first to take the flag, soon followed by number 119 in P2.
This is unbelievable. It's amazing for the final. Oh, this weekend is very exciting. But our team have a very high passion to win.
The maximum goal. TOYOTA Gazoo Racing Team Thailand have defended their title with nothing less than a double triumph in the 50th edition of the 24-hour race at the Nordschleife. The exertions have more than paid off. TOYOTA Gazoo Racing Team Thailand go unbeaten at the Nordschleife for the third year in a row.
We very happy about this champion because last 2 years we champion and last year we champion and this year we champion again.
Ambition, solidarity, passion, and skill, paired with the Toyota Corolla Altis technical strength. That's what's made the team invincible once again this year.
That's the teamwork. Everyone here.
We have plan, we have good mechanic, we have good manager, we have good team owner, we have good driver.
And that much is clear.
We want victory more and more.
Toyota Gazoo Racing Team Thailand will return to the Green Hell next year to celebrate their 10-year milestone, and their goal is nothing less than another title defense.